Unlock your health potential. Learning to identify root cause. Number 13. Mold toxicity. While diagnostic mysteries about unexplained symptoms are interesting to watch on your favorite medical show, experiencing them firsthand is frustrating. Mold toxicity may be the most underrated, overlooked, and often left untreated root cause in conventional medicine, impacting millions of people worldwide. More often than not, it is the missing link in healing chronic conditions. Mold is a type of fungus that grows both indoors and outdoors, thriving in damp environments where moisture, oxygen, and a food source are present. It is composed of microscopic, thread-like structures called hyphae that form a network known as a mycelium, and it reproduces by releasing vast numbers of tiny, lightweight spores into the air. Mold is everywhere. It travels through the air outside and inside in the form of spores, and you inhale them regularly. These spores can settle on surfaces and grow into colonies when conditions are favorable, often appearing as fuzzy patches ranging in color from white to green, black, or brown. Mold can flourish and remain hidden behind walls, in the ceilings and under carpet for years. Molds thrive in damp environments rich in porous materials, such as particle board, wood, and drywall. In the presence of these materials, a small water leak from a poorly sealed window or a hole in a basement foundation is all it takes to trigger a bloom of mold growth, with potentially drastic repercussions for residents' health. It is estimated that about 50% of residential buildings in the U.S. have unhealthy levels of mold, and about 85% of public and commercial office buildings across the U.S. experience past water damage, while 45% of them have current leakage problems. Any kind of water damage, flood, pipe burst, or leakage can facilitate the growth of a mold in as little as 24 to 48 hours. The real trouble begins when spores grow into toxic mold. Once toxic mold has established itself in a water-damaged indoor environment, it begins to release secondary metabolites called mycotoxins. Mycotoxins are invisible, stable, and toxic chemical compounds. They are some of the most prevalent toxins in the environment. They can harm any organism, plants, animals, humans, and even other microbes, that competes with the mold itself for space or nutrition. Anywhere from 20,000 to over 300,000 mycotoxins may exist, and about 3,000 have been identified thus far. Some speculate they act as a defense mechanism for mold, allowing it to more easily infect a host. Mold toxicity, also referred to as mold illness or toxic mold-based illness, is a condition caused by a prolonged or intense exposure to mycotoxins, which can take place through ingestion, inhalation, skin contact, or indirect exposure such as consumption of food contaminated with mycotoxins. Mycotoxins' effects are multifactorial and complex and can target all organ systems, including the nervous system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, digestive system, urinary system, immune system, endocrine system, reproductive system, and integumentary system. Symptoms of mold toxicity are real and affect people every year, including homeowners, renters, employees working in moldy environments, and students attending schools in poorly maintained facilities. Some health professionals refer to mold toxicity as chronic inflammatory response syndrome, or CIRS. However, mold-based illness is more than just a chronic inflammatory response, as mycotoxins cause damage to cells, tissues, and organs primarily through oxidative stress, immune system dysregulation, neurological damage, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Oxidative stress occurs when the production and accumulation of reactive oxygen species, ROS, exceeds the body's ability to neutralize and detoxify them, damaging cells and tissues. Some common examples of oxidation are the browning of apples and avocados when cut open, or when rust forms on iron. Oxidative stress is a central mechanism underlying mycotoxins toxicity. Mycotoxins interfere with the production of glutathione, the master antioxidant in the body, making them a direct cause of oxidative damage. Molds and mycotoxins are also known to cause significant immune system dysregulation and suppression through multiple mechanisms. In addition, multiple studies confirm that certain mycotoxins may damage the mitochondria, and that mycotoxin-induced mitochondrial dysfunction may be related to several chronic diseases. Mycotoxins are known to affect nervous system damage. Emerging research even suggests a potential link between exposure to certain mycotoxins and the development or progression of Parkinson's disease and multiple sclerosis. Mycotoxins are also known to affect the intestinal barrier, contributing to leaky gut syndrome, and enable physical, chemical, immunological, and microbial damage to the intestinal barriers. Consequently, some researchers propose that mycotoxins play a role in the development of chronic inflammatory bowel disease. Mold-based illness can lead to a wide range of symptoms that are typically influenced by factors such as the type of mold, the duration of exposure, individual sensitivities, and overall baseline health. Mold toxicity is daunting to diagnose due to its wide spectrum of seemingly unrelated physiological, cognitive, and emotional symptoms. It frequently mimics other conditions. To make things worse, not everyone exposed to mycotoxins will have a reaction to them, even when they reside or work in the same environment. Most relevant studies that have examined the connection between mycotoxins and human health have been consigned to oblivion by the medical community, piling digital dust somewhere in online libraries. In addition, most physicians are not trained to recognize its symptoms or identify environmental causes of illness. Compound all of the above with a lack of standardized testing and treatment protocols, and you have a perfect storm of misdiagnosis and increasingly diminished health potential. Mold-based illness can manifest in a wide range of symptoms and chronic conditions affecting multiple organs and systems, including anxiety, fear, panic attacks, mood swings, irritability, anger, OCD, reduced ability to cope with stress, hallucinations, and suicidal thoughts, decreased short-term memory, difficulty concentrating, difficulty learning new information, word-finding difficulty, lack of motivation and brain fog, muscle aches, joint pain and morning stiffness, palpitations, vasculitis and edema, shortness of breath, chronic cough, sinus congestion and nasal drip, headaches, migraines, tremors, vertigo, seizures, numbness, burning and tingling sensations, and a sense of internal vibration, abdominal pain, diarrhea, appetite swings, nausea and leaky gut syndrome, fatigue and chronic fatigue syndrome, eye tearing and itching, multiple chemical sensitivity, and mast cell activation syndrome. Preventing mold exposure is the best defense. It primarily involves controlling moisture in indoor environments, as mold requires damp conditions to grow. Ongoing monitoring and maintenance can prevent mold recurrence and safeguard health. Key preventive measures include regularly inspecting homes for mold-prone areas, ensuring good ventilation in bathrooms and kitchens, using air purifiers to reduce airborne mold spores, regularly cleaning HVAC systems, fixing leaks promptly, drying water-damaged areas within 24 to 48 hours, maintaining indoor humidity levels between 30% and 50%, and using dehumidifiers or air conditioners during humid seasons.
Imagine discovering that the real power to heal has been inside you all along. Introducing Unlock Your Health Potential. This groundbreaking guide reveals how to move beyond chasing symptoms and instead uncover the true root causes behind your fatigue, mood changes, chronic aches, and other long-standing conditions, so you can finally experience the lasting relief and vitality you deserve. This book is a treasure trove of practical information. It offers the guidance and confidence you need to take charge of your well-being, break out of the vicious cycle of declining health, and rebuild the vibrant life you deserve.
To summarize, mold is a type of fungus that grows both indoors and outdoors, thriving in damp environments where moisture, oxygen, and a food source are present. It can flourish and remain hidden behind walls, in the ceilings and under carpet for years. Toxic mold refers to mold species that are capable of producing mycotoxins. Mycotoxins are invisible, stable, and toxic chemical compounds. They are some of the most prevalent toxins in the environment. They are toxic to all organisms, including plants, other microbes, animals, and humans. It is estimated that about 50% of residential buildings in the U.S. have unhealthy levels of mold. Nearly everyone becomes ill when exposed to sufficient levels of mycotoxins, but most people recover once they are removed from exposure. However, approximately 25% of us have human leukocyte antigen, HLA genes, which prevent our bodies from recognizing and eliminating mycotoxins. These are the people who are at a higher risk of developing CIRS, a severe inflammatory condition that develops as a result of a prolonged mold exposure. Toxic mold-based illness is characterized by a systemic inflammatory response, which can lead to a wide range of symptoms affecting multiple organs and systems. Symptoms are broad and can mimic other conditions. The vast majority of people with mold-based illnesses have not been properly diagnosed or treated because conventional doctors, and even many functional and alternative health practitioners, simply aren't looking for it. If you consistently experience respiratory issues such as coughing, sneezing, nasal congestion, itchy eyes, or shortness of breath, neurological symptoms such as dizziness, balance problems, sensitivity to light or sound, or numbness or tingling in the extremities, cognitive difficulties such as difficulty concentrating, brain fog, or dementia, mood swings, irritability, anger, anxiety, depression, OCD, hallucinations, or suicidal thoughts, chronic fatigue, headaches, skin irritations, muscle aches, joint pain, heightened sensitivity to chemicals or odors, or gastrointestinal disturbances such as nausea, diarrhea, or abdominal pain. You might be struggling with mold toxicity. Remember, suppressing a symptom may ease your suffering and help in the immediate moment, but it never gets to the underlying cause. This approach does not take into account your body's natural self-healing mechanisms and causes long-term dysfunction. Thus, it is best to think why, how, and mechanism of various conditions, rather than focusing on the condition itself. Looking for tips and strategies on how to confirm and resolve this root cause? Our book, Unlock Your Health Potential, offers a comprehensive guide for how to confirm, address, and resolve the 24 major root causes discussed in this video series. For immediate actions you may take now to kickstart your healing journey, check our Master Your Health in 8 Weeks program. We hope you enjoyed and benefited from this short video. For a list of supporting references and resources, check this video description below. Please remember to like and share this video. May you achieve your health goals and experience joy, resilience, and optimal health.